So now, our next presenter just reminded me of something. Usually in my talk shows, just on a lighter note, I ask this question to most of my guests. What if they are given this power one day to eradicate one thing from this world completely? What that one thing would be? Any guesses? I throw this question to you all today. Would anyone like to answer? What if you are given a power to eradicate one thing from this world completely, what that one thing would be? Violence, okay. Injustice. Anything else? Great. Sorry? Hunger, okay. So, just taking all your answers, but none of us answered the same what my guests usually answer it as. Well, most of their answer is poverty of all sorts. Now, talking about poverty, how many of us actually could thought of period poverty? No one, right? Because there's this stigma attached towards it and no one wants to talk about it. Today, let's break the stigma and get ourselves more aware of it. Our next presenter is a warrior. I call her a warrior woman because she's fighting against the same cause. Well, if any one of you here have watched a movie called I, Daniel Blake, you would be more than familiar about what am I talking about and this harrowing reality of the world. Our next presenter is a social entrepreneur leading the way in ending period poverty. She's a founder of the MENA Foundation, and today, in the special segment, she will be enlightening us about her foundation and how it helps to keep girls within the schools. But before I call her upon the stage, she have requested us to watch this video that has been provided by her. May I please request you all to have a look at the video?
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Zaakira, and I apologize. I always get very emotional when I see that video. And I'll tell you the story of that later on. But before I start, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. Yes, my name is Zaakira. I was born in African country, South Africa to be more specific, the land of very strong female role models, the lands of Winnie Mandela. So if you know who Nelson Mandela is, you know him because of the struggles of Winnie Mandela while he was in jail. I was born in a Muslim home and raised to be compassionate and raised and raised to be strong. I was raised to believe that I was different from my brothers anatomically, but I was very deserving of an education. I was deserving of justice. I was deserving of equality. And all of this because I had a dad who told me, because I'm a girl, I can. Not because not because I can't. Because I'm a girl, I can do anything that I want to. It's almost as if he knew that he was going to die at a very young age, because when I was 16, he passed away. And when my mom said, "You can't," I said, "Well, I can, and I'm going to." So I was raised to be compassionate. While children at my age were going to school, on weekends going to the zoo lake and mingling with their friends, we went out to mental health institutions or hospitals, and we did charity work and social work, and that's the way I was raised. In a Muslim home, the way Islam teaches us to help others, to be of service to others. So from a very young age, I realized that no matter what, no matter where, I was queen and I was deserving. And when you believe in yourself, you won't allow anyone else to make you do less than what you deserve. When you believe in yourself, you give girls a fighting chance to fight for themselves. Because I learned from a very young age that in a very cruel world, I did not have to sacrifice my dignity to get somewhere. And perhaps, yes, this is due to having very strong role models, female role models, like my mom, who was a widow at 36. She had to be strong. She had to be amazing. She had to raise 5 children. But also, I think it's because I had a lot of male role models around me who encouraged me to start my own business, who encouraged me to finish school. So while my dad passed at a young age, I was surrounded by very strong male role models who saw nothing wrong with women getting an education and trying to do something with their lives. And it is for this reason that the MENA Foundation was formed 3.5 years ago, to encourage dads and males and mentors to participate to help humanity forward. We realize that we need to engage men as advocates to leverage equality. You're talking about paternity leave. Most companies are now, even in South Africa, giving you paternity leave because dads are becoming more present in the lives of their children, in the lives of their daughters. And we have a lot of males, especially I speak in South Africa because I do most of my work in South Africa, who want to know, so when they're at home with their daughters, how would they explain to them what to do when they get their period while mom's at work, yeah? But also to let every girl, child, or female in a disadvantaged community know that she matters, that we see her, to raise the plight of women and girls by tackling one of the most natural and obvious taboos in the world, through dialogue, through awareness, and through education. To make periods normal and natural, to destigmatize generational cultural taboos, and I'm going to say that again. They are generational cultural taboos that make periods comfortable, to make periods comfortable for men and women to talk on a public platform like this one, without feeling embarrassment or shame. It's nice to see some men in the room, but when I was outside at my stand, there were quite a few men who just walked away because periods are women's issues. How do you think you got here? A woman had to stop her period for 9 months for you to be here. So the MENA Foundation aims to raise a strong generation of male and female leaders. After all, the one thing that connects all of us as human beings is that we were carried in the womb of a mother. So there's nothing different between all of us. Menstruation is fundamental to so many things. So when I started this project, it was about 4 years ago, where I was in a group studying an MBA, and I woke up to go and check myself because it was that time of the month. And one of my friends told me about a menstrual cup. But the thing that stuck with me is that she said it can last for up to 10 years. And the thing is, August is Women's Month in South Africa. So any South Africans in the room know that August 9th is a public holiday, but the whole of August is Women's Month. And what women tend to do in August is raise funds to buy sanitary towels because they became aware of girls missing out on school just because of a period. And you and I all know that we get our periods every month and not just in August. So when I discovered the menstrual cup, I realized that it was a sustainable solution, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it as we go along. So menstruation is fundamental to the environment. The most important thing on this earth, more than humans, is the environment. Without the environment, humans will not survive. But without humans, the environment will survive. And that's something we have to learn, okay? It takes approximately, I don't know if you know, but it takes approximately 500 to 800 years for a sanitary towel to biodegrade. So if you've discarded the sanitary towel yesterday, it's going to live on this earth for at least another 500 years. You might as well decide not to have any children, because there's going to be no place on this earth if we don't stop this now. It takes approximately 25 years for a tampon applicator to break down into the ocean. It's ingested by marine life that we eat, okay? Even growing cotton is harmful to our earth, as it needs an enormous amount of water from the earth, okay? Mina is reusable, and so there's nothing to throw away in landfills. As the environmentalist John May quoted, when the last tree is cut and the last fish is killed and the last river poisoned, then you will see that you can't eat money. So menstruation is fundamental to education, as you saw the video that I just showed you earlier. In South Africa alone, at least 3 million girls miss out on school because they can't afford sanitary protection. They use rags, they use grass, they use stones, they use toilet paper, they use newspaper, they even use socks, okay? I know this because I meet them on a daily basis. Mina is affordable. So I'm going to give you an average cost of a sanitary protection in South Africa is about $3.50 per month, which amounts to $210 for 5 years, because Mina lasts for 5 years. Mina costs approximately $15 for 5 years. That's a saving of $195, which equals to 270 loaves of bread. And I will tell you later why I'm comparing the price of sanitary protection against a loaf of bread. If I compare in Qatar, an average cost is maybe 10 riyals per month for a pack of sanitary towels, which amounts to 600 Qatari riyals over 5 years. We're selling them for 60 Qatari riyals. That's a saving of 500 riyals, which means you can keep another 9 girls in school for their whole school career. Menstruation is fundamental to basic human rights. During my visit to Zambia, I was appalled when I discovered that women prisoners were made to dig a hole and sit in the sand during the hot sun while they're menstruating. This is a gross violation of basic human rights. Menstruation is not a choice and should not be punished. You should not be punished for being a woman. And most importantly, lastly, menstruation is fundamental to your health. So to make your tampons and your pads white and pretty and making it look sanitary, it needs to be bleached, or it needs a lot of chemicals in there that you put into the most sensitive area of your body. Sorry, I just carried on talking without, okay. So this is Mina. Mina is the Zulu word for me. Zulu is one of the 11 official languages of South Africa. Mina means me in Zulu, it's all about me. Okay, but Mina means many things. Mina means love in German. Mina means protector.
I will just call her.
In Dutch. And maybe she was born in an African village or under a tree. Mira is a role model. She's someone who's smart and confident and wants to stay in school. Maybe she was born in the palace on the French Riviera, but that does not matter because her circumstances do not define who she is. She's smart and confident, she's wise and kind. And that's not all. What I discovered along my journey is that Mina is me and Mina is you. Every single one of us here has Mina in us. We have Mina from Africa, we have Mina from Asia, we have Mina from the Middle East, we have Mina from the Americas. And the thing is, she's purple, because wherever we are all the same. So for those of you who haven't heard yet, Mina is a menstrual cup. Mina is the menstrual cup, first invented in 1932, the same time tampons became commercialized. And I'm going to say that again. Mina was invented in 1932, the same time tampons was commercialized. The reason you don't know about it, for most of the women who haven't heard about it, is because you will buy one every 5 to 10 years. Why should you buy something every 5 to 10 years when you can buy something every month? Okay. So when I discovered the menstrual cup, decided I will make it my life's work to tell every single woman about a menstrual cup. What she does with the information is totally up to her. So Mina is a clever little silicone cup. She's strong and resilient, like the silicone that she's made out of. And just like the silicone that will always go back to its original shape, Mina will always go back to her roots, to uplift her community. She's a friend of the planet, so she's reusable for up to 5 years. She's easy to clean, so it's not expensive. She just needs a little half a cup of water to sterilize. She's economical. She lasts for 5 years. She's hygienic and healthy because she's made out of 100% medical grade silicone, and she's hypoallergenic. You can swim with her, you can sleep with her. She's discreet, she's odorless, and she makes you feel comfortable. The only challenge we have is it is a mindset change. And the reason for that is because of all the cultural taboos that are out there when it comes to periods. So we visit communities on a regular basis, and periods is not a problem. It's not a topic that even moms are comfortable talking to their children about. In Nepal, even though it's banned, women are still banished to the mountains during their periods. In the cultures that I visit in South Africa, you're not allowed to be seen in some of them. You're not allowed to throw salt in food. You're not supposed to be around. And the greatest challenge is when you're inserting something into your vaginal canal, the cultural taboos regarding virginity and menstruation. So we go around educating people the difference between virginity and menstruation. Managing a period is different from having sex. You know, we go to schools and we teach girls about puberty, sexual reproductive health. Are you ready to fall pregnant? What does it mean to have a period? How to manage a period? What is a cycle? What does that mean? So this is why Mina matters. You know, as per the introductory video that you've seen, we all know that, okay, girls are missing out on school, but we all know that education is a way out of poverty. As per 2017 refugee report, 65 million individuals have been forcibly displaced. At least 50% of these are girls and women. So what do you do when you get your period in a refugee camp? As if that's not enough, menstruation, which is the most natural process of being a woman from the beginning of time, is not a comfortable subject. Some cultures, like I said before, think you're bewitched or impure. And my personal favorite, by the way, is that if you swim in the ocean while you're on your period, yes, the great big shark is coming after you. Yeah. So I want to tell you a little bit about Mina's travels. She goes around visiting schools, encouraging girls to stay in school, and educating her so that she doesn't get the wrong information from her peers. She has a footprint in Swaziland, in Zambia, in Zimbabwe, in Namibia, in the US, in Spain, and we're also in talks with people in Qatar. Through partnerships with various foundations, UN Women South Africa and Global Citizen, which aims to end world poverty by 2030, the Mina Foundation has empowered thousands of girls and women in the last 3 years and have had approximately 51,000 success stories. We have a decrease in teenage pregnancies. We have an increase in pass rates when we have a decrease in absenteeism in school. If every girl and woman in need could manage her period with hygienic, eco-friendly, sustainable, and economical solution, then she won't be forced to choose between a pack of pads and a loaf of bread. And I say that because a lot of the communities I visit are from child-headed households, and most often they have to choose between a pack of pads for their period and a loaf of bread to feed the families. And now I just need to remind everyone to recognize the power of a period, the value of a woman who through God's grace can bear the greatest miracle on earth. And I want to just end with something positive. Know your powers. We all have them. The power of your thoughts, the power of your words, the power of your silence, the power of compassion. Only you can act on them. 51,000 today. Please help us reach 1 million. Thank you.